most managers are drowning in busy work, manually chasing updates, rewriting the same status reports, and calling it productivity. But let's be real, if your day is spent doing tasks a machine could handle, you're kind of just wasting your time. Every top performing manager I've met doesn't just delegate, they automate. From rescheduling to reporting to content creation, they've built systems that run themselves. And as a result, you get more time to think, you get more time to lead and actually grow the business. So in this video, I'll show you exactly how to do the same using ChatGPT. No fluff, no vague AI hacks, just practical plug and play systems you can set up in minutes, even if you're not super tech savvy. Picture a team lead managing 3 projects. Every Friday, she opens up her notes, she checks 4 different dashboards, she reads over team updates and manually pulls it all into a weekly summary email. That takes, let's say, about 45 minutes per project. Now multiply that by 3 and you're talking over 2 hours spent just collecting information. And what's the ROI of that time? Very, very low, because she's not making strategic decisions. She's just copy pasting what others already wrote. Now, this is what kills momentum for most managers. Not lack of effort, but it's the absence of systems. Repetitive, low impact tasks stack up and slowly consume your time, your energy, and your clarity. Now imagine this same team lead opens ChatGPT and says, fetch this week's task updates from project A and generate a summary email for the client. In 10 seconds, the report is done, the email is drafted, and she's already thinking about next week's roadmap, not next week's admin. And this is what automation should feel like. Not clunky, not code heavy, just clean, repeatable workflows that act like a second brain. Now, you don't need to be a developer, right? You just need a custom GPT, some smart instructions, and some tools. So let's walk through how to set that up. Let's say you want ChatGPT to act like your assistant, the kind that knows your workflow, remembers how you format your reports, and never drops the ball. You don't need to hire anyone or learn how to code. You just need to create a custom GPT and give it the right instructions. So you can start by heading over to ChatGPT's Explore GPTs tab and click on Create. You give it a simple, clear name, something like Project Tracker or Ops Assistant. From there, you'll give it a description, and if you want, a profile picture so you can recognize it easily later. But that's just kind of the surface level stuff. The real magic is in the instructions. So most people write something vague like, help me with work tasks. And that's like telling an intern, just do things. It doesn't usually work. You need to be more specific with ChatGPT, like you're onboarding a new team member. For example, imagine writing this: you are my operations assistant. You summarize project updates, create status reports, and format everything using the company tone. When I say fetch updates, go pull the latest data from our tools and start drafting. To make things even smoother, you can set up quick access buttons. Now these are called conversation starters. Think of them like shortcuts you can click to trigger a task, such as create a report, summarize updates, or send to Slack. Instead of typing out instructions every time, you just click and go. Now here's a bit of a tip. In your instructions, also tell your GPT what to do when something goes wrong. So you can say something like, if you can't find the data, respond with still waiting on updates from the team. That way, your assistant doesn't break, it adapts. At this point, you've built a GPT that understands what to do, but now you need to connect it to the tools you already use, like Google Sheets, like Slack, Notion, or your calendar. This is why you'll need a tool to act as a middleman, something that lets ChatGPT talk to other apps in real time. There are platforms out there that act as a bridge. Think of them as your AI's translator. You tell your GPT to get updates or send a report, and this behind the scenes platform handles the connection, moving the data exactly where it needs to go. So whether you're using something like Zapier, Pabbly or N8N, they all follow the same logic. When a trigger happens, like a command from your GPT, it takes action. That could mean pulling info from a spreadsheet, sending a message, or updating a doc, or even generating a new report. So let's say you open ChatGPT and you type, summarize this week's tasks and send the update to Slack. In the background, GPT reaches out, it collects data from your project tracker, it formats a message, and it posts it, all without you ever switching tabs. That's a GET request followed by a POST request. GET is when GPT asks for information, like checking what tasks were completed. POST is when it sends something out, like pushing a message to Team Slack channel or saving a report to Google Docs. Now, the beauty here is that you can make this entire process feel invisible. One simple prompt inside ChatGPT can run a full chain of actions. It can gather the data, clean it up, format it, send it, and even confirm that it's done. And because these automation tools often have filters and controls, you can build safety nets like only sending updates if there are real changes or pausing actions on weekends. Once you've set this up, it kind of works like magic. You're running your workflow on autopilot while staying focused on what actually matters. Decision making, not data entry. Now, what exactly can you automate? Imagine you're running a team across 3 departments, and every week you're expected to generate updates, follow-ups, and content, all while juggling meetings and last-minute fires. Now, this is where most managers drown. Not because they're lazy, because they're doing everything manually. Now, picture this instead. On Monday morning, your GPT automatically pulls project updates from your tracking tools. It summarizes the completed tasks, it formats the update in your brand voice, and it saves it as a ready to send Google Doc. You open ChatGPT, you preview the report, and with one click, it's shared with your leadership team. You didn't chase anyone for updates. You didn't copy and paste. You didn't even open your spreadsheet. That's task 1 off your plate forever. Now it's Wednesday. You've just finished a call with a client. Instead of spending 30 minutes rewriting meeting notes and drafting a follow-up, you simply paste the transcript into GPT. It generates a bullet point summary with action items, it adds deadlines, and drafts a professional email. You review it, and in seconds you hit send. By Thursday, your GPT has already collected industry news from your go-to sources, selected the most relevant articles, and drafted 3 LinkedIn posts that sound exactly like you. All you need to do is pick your favorite and you click approve. Thought leadership done. No ghostwriting needed. On Friday, your onboarding system kicks in. A new hire was added to your HR spreadsheet. GPT sees the trigger, it pulls their name, and it sends them a welcome email with links to company docs, their onboarding checklist, and a note from you, even though you're already out for lunch. And throughout the week, whenever someone submits a time off request, that info is automatically updated in a central sheet, your calendar is blocked out, and the team is notified without you being looped in every single time. Now, these are just 5 examples, but they all prove one thing. If your workflow is repeatable, it's automated. And when you set it up right, ChatGPT becomes more than a chatbot. It becomes the operations layer you didn't know you needed. But saying that, it's really important that you kind of understand these next few things. Now, before you hand over your entire workload to your GPT and you walk away, slow down. Automation is extremely powerful, but it's only as smart as your instructions that you give it. If something breaks, or worse, if it runs the wrong task, you're the one cleaning up the mess. Let's imagine this. You've set up an automation to email project summaries every Friday. One week, your data source is empty, no updates came in, but GPT still drafts an email and sends it anyway. The client essentially gets a blank report. Not a huge deal, but it does make you look a little bit sloppy. That's why smart managers build guardrails. You can add logic to your automation so they check for missing data before anything is sent. You can also create a staging step where GPT generates the draft but waits for your approval before sending. That way, you keep control without killing the automation flow. It's also worth keeping a log, even something simple in Notion or Google Sheets, of what automations you've set up, what they do, and when they run. Because when things get complex, having a system kind of overview helps you troubleshoot fast. And here's a tip that I feel like most people miss. Use GPT to explain your workflows in plain English. Literally, you can ask, summarize this automation for my team, and you'll get a training doc that you can hand off to a teammate, a VA, or even your future self. Now, the goal isn't to automate everything blindly. It's to design a system where AI handles the boring stuff and you stay focused on the things that actually require judgment, leadership, and strategy. Now, I know managing a team while juggling 100 moving parts isn't easy, but if you want to lead, I feel like you really need to stop doing everything yourself and start building systems that work for you. What's one task you're still doing manually that you know you want to automate? Let me know in the comments.